Good morning. I didn't do this last night as it was 1 in the morning. Chris, Wanda, and Liam show. Chris Kim coming to you from Saudi Arabia. World Cup action. Again, 4 more teams through. 4 more teams went home. Talked about the first set last night. France played Ecuador. And Switzerland played Honduras. Going in, France had 6 points, Ecuador had 3, Switzerland had 3, and Honduras had none. Honduras had lost to both France big and then lost to Ecuador. Ecuador had beaten Honduras, but had lost in a tight one to Switzerland with a goal given up in injury time. Now that becomes significant because going in, I think goal differential, had Ecuador been able to beat France 1-0, they would have gone through. Switzerland won 3-0. They blew away Honduras. So having said that, they had a shot to go through. Ecuador needed to win. The game I saw, I did not see the Switzerland game. The game I watched, France-Ecuador, not what I would call a very fun game. Not the best played. I mean, there was a lot of fouls, a lot of niggly fouls, a lot of really kind of odd slide tackles. But this meant something. I mean, France, even though they had the goal differential, and they didn't play all their starters. They played Benzema, they played Griezmann coming in, they didn't play Debouche, they played Sagna. They played some odds and ends people in there to give them some playing time. Ecuador needed the victory. Ecuador went for it. It was a pretty open game. It was very entertaining. In the 60th minute, I believe, Antonio Valencia goes out on a red card. He was slid tackle, and then he had a little extracurricular activity on the guy who did a clean tackle on him, and he got red carded. I'll leave that to the discretion because if it's intentional, it's automatic red. You can stop yourself. He seemed to want to take some blood. It was a hard tackle. I admit it. He didn't keep his head. What I do give Ecuador kudos on 2 fronts. Number 1, they went after it, 1 man down. I mean, they played very hard, and they went for it. And number 2, while France missed some goals, they also had a lot of shots on goal. The Ecuador goalie was one of the best goalies I've seen at maintaining position. That's one of the things they also teach you, and I haven't talked about as a goalie, is if you play position well, saves that look like accidents aren't. Okay, so the wide open shot 1-on-1 and the guy, the person kicks it and the goalie doesn't even have time to react. It hits his leg and bounces away. Oh, it's lucky. No, it's great position. You cut down the angles. You didn't give the person the ability to score unless it was a perfect shot, a little off shot, and you have to stop at it. He was in the correct position a lot of times on France. A lot of those hooked-in shots from Benzema, he knew it was coming, and I watched him as he adjusted to it. He kept Ecuador in the game. Great, very good goalie. I'm going to look to follow him down the road because technically he was one of the best. He had pretty good athletic skills. Durability, he was tall and thin. You get pounded as a goalie, and you have to be a little bit crazy to play, like Diego Costa with Real Madrid is crazy. I mean, he's very aggressive in the air. You got to be a little nuts about that. Neuer with Germany is definitely a little crazy with some of the things he does. But he looks like a very good goalie, and I think he's going to have a good career. I hand Ecuador kudos. Gutsy game. Again, technically not the most appealing, but the last 20 minutes wide open, and it has been a great World Cup. A lot of excitement, and again, congratulations to France, my dark horse, and congratulations to Switzerland, because it was going into the game because of all the South American and Central American teams' success. People were talking about, it's a derby day with Ecuador, Argentina. They were already elevating Ecuador to the next level. So, for European football, glad to see Switzerland go through and France go through. I will talk about the last two games, last four qualifiers going through in Group 1 of them, the United States, Germany, Ghana, Portugal, which you've heard me when I talked after the U.S. game. Head and heart. That's going to be a tough one. And then the final group, which I'll mess up. I know Russia's part of it. I know Algeria's a part of it. I know that I believe South Korea is a part of it. But I'm still, I have to think about all those too. So, morning show. Congrats all around. Happy World Cup. Good World Cup. Super enjoyed it. Let's hope it continues with the excitement.